Hello and welcome back to the podcast, We Are Selling. My name's Lee Woodward, the author of the Complete Salesperson course. Today, VPA, Value Performance Advertising. What's going on? What innovations are happening? And there are some amazing innovations going on in our industry by people that you may or may not know for our listeners overseas. But joining me today is Adam from Image Property Group. Adam, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Adam, you've had some amazing things going on in the VPA space, including building your own tech for your team. But we might start there. Where's the team up to now?
Mate. Plenty of talented agents across southeast Queensland now, mate, from Noosa down to the Tweed. And the performance of the team is growing steadily month on month, mate. So they're doing really well.
And how many agents do you have on the ground?
Mate, we have 108 agents as far as lead agents on the ground, 155 when you start to include associates and bits and pieces like that, mate. And then our reimagined partners as well that we support as far as the white label model of what we do.
And Adam, as the Director of Sales for the group, that is a lot of agents on the ground, especially with many of our companies listening might have 10 agents only. So you are responsible for a big group of people. What have you been doing in the VPA space?
Mate, in the VPA space, I saw a unique opportunity to be able to enhance the customer experience. And we have two stakeholders in that, mate, the vendor, then also the agent. Creating a platform that amalgamated price points, first and foremost, but also products for all things that are required to promote a property well, and then connect it to finance services as well to make a nice, seamless customer experience. And then finally, do booking of photography and bits and pieces like that. Do it in a manner that was visual and easy to use and produce something far superior than a one-pager with some line items on it.
Yeah, when we were chatting about this off air today, I thought everyone's had that challenge. You're in the lounge room, you want to explain the communications plan, but your decision to make it an actual platform, and just to give our listener some context, take us into how the agents are delivering that in the listing conversation and what other tools they're using to get that value performance advertising across to get the winning the business moment.
The simple theory of what we wanted to do is help the guys better position their price improvement plans, the track engaged NIT as a visual guide to step through the listing consultation, but then also modernise their signing convention. So signing off on documentation required, which is a marketing agreement and an agency appointment. We spent a lot of time, energy and effort in positioning that and simplifying it for the guys. And then taking it from there was through my experience being in the industry for 20 odd years and then also looking at the evolution and the change of it, there's been very little around the vendor paid marketing space. So it's always been show a couple of examples. If you're lucky, your agents are left to build case studies. And then as far as the products were concerned, there was no amalgamated resource. It was expected that you got to go to realestate.com, then you go to domain, and then you go to your signage companies, then you go to your photographer and all of those sorts of things in that administrative nightmare. No one had centralised it with all the relevant information in regards to the products. There's platforms out there that centralise the price points of the product, but as far as the display and the features and the benefits of it, that's what we built out, mate. So an agent can now be in the living room and actually do a bit of show and tell instead of just tell. Like they can look at live examples, specific examples of videography, social ads, of course, the likes of REA products and domain products, signage, brochures, you name it. And they get to create the campaign bespoke to what the customer's after, but at the same time mandating the agency standards that might be required as well.
And what I really love about this, Adam, is it falls into that sales technique of getting to yes. So by showing a beautiful display, and I would imagine this is all done on the iPad, how are they doing that?
Maybe it is iPad or laptop. They can do that. But what we've done cleverly with Bespoke is they can actually send it to the client prior to. So part of pre-lease. So we use a pre-meeting proposal and this product's ingested inside that so the client can actually go shopping themselves and start to pick and choose what they would like to use within their campaign. And then they can actually send that to their agent prior to the consultation and or have it there for the point of discussion. And in our experience so far, Lee, any client that does that, they're a lay down as there as far as being a quality listing appointment ready to rock and roll, because they're the ones that are doing that, the highly motivated ones.
Now, this is absolutely amazing, and I hope our listener can visualize this stunning platform, which is like a real estate property shop of I want a video, I want this, I want that, but they're seeing it in the brand, how it's going to look, and have many people actually done the selection process before the agents got there? Has that been a big take-up, or what's the report on that?
Well, that's what I've liked about the platform, Lee, is we've actually left it to the agent as to how they want to implement it. So we mandate the standard as far as how to use the platform and teach them how to, but then how they want to implement it into their own business. It has the capacity for an agent to create their favourite campaigns and bits and pieces like that. It also has the capacity to be able to give social proof as to what other campaigns have been used for properties similar to. And then the final component is it has the ability to be able to build it as you go. But the thing is, it's not a difficult exercise. It's easy to be able to step through each product and go, I want that, I want that, I want that. I've seen a bit of a 30-30-30 split, Lee. I've seen 30% of agents go, right, these are my standards, these are my favourites, that's what I'm going to pitch. I've seen 30% of the agents use more of a consultative approach, which is, okay, let's do this together. And then I've seen 30% of the agents do their thing, which is they've always done, which is stick to the traditional while they get used to the technology. This product supports that too, but it was definitely music to my ears not that long ago, speaking to one of my agents that had been around for a while, by no way, shape or form tech savvy. They were really proud of themselves. They're just like, okay, I had my price improvement plan laid out as far as the visual. I had my iPad, and on my iPad, I had 3 tabs open. I had the image website, which it was for me to be able to demonstrate to them how we have everything all in one spot, the capacity to make an offer, look at all the contractual documentation, everything all in one spot. I had Sign ready to rock and roll with Form 6 that our sales support team had pre-prepared for them, where they could sign on glass and execute that. And then they had Bespoke open. And Bespoke is the marketing solution that we're talking about now. And his consultation was a reverse of what he would normally do. He would normally go, okay, this is about us and this is what we can do for you, that type of thing, talk about a Form 6 and then try and talk about marketing afterwards, or sometimes have marketing somewhere in between. But what happened in this instance is that he was able to consult with the client around what products they would like to use to showcase their property. And then out of that, what occurred is that he was in a position where the client was so happy with the campaign that they put together, which was the largest VPA schedule that he had ever appointed. And it was signed and financed instantly before they'd even discussed commission or pricing.
Wow.
So what followed that, Lee, was that he was then able to execute his agency appointment at the highest rate of com he's ever got. And there was no argument around pricing because there was just complete trust. Because what was done differently was the provision of information, and the visual nature of that information could be easily ingested, which really elevated the trust from the client and agent relationship, because the client didn't feel like there was anything being hidden from them.
I hope our listener takes in just that part of the audio and how powerful that is to present to someone in a fashion of, should you decide to go with us, this is what the site looks like. However, on our site, you can buy the property now. You can make an offer. You can have a bid. You are running that digital sale from your site. You can download the contract. This is what you're going to look like. But the purchasing community with Attract, Engage, Commit can commit to your property. So the owner's saying, okay, well, that all looks good. Now let me show you the marketing campaign that we used on a property not dissimilar to yours. We're looking for the same audience. They invested X amount of dollars. So you're using that third-party perspective of how another successful result was achieved. They show the actual elements of that campaign, add it to the cart as they're going. We're not using a prop here. We're using the actual live shopping cart of the product. And then finally, I'd need you to sign the authority over here, which is the Form 6, and that will activate my services. But just so I'm clear, Adam, people are paying for the campaign and then signing the Form 6.
Yep. And mate, when you think about the potential objection that typically comes around vendor pay, but also because of the increases in costs associated with these products and those sorts of things, what it was doing too was putting a lot of pressure on the performance fees. as well. So alleviating that has been a significant improvement. And we've also seen about a 35% increase in customer spending. And it's been interesting to watch what products they're choosing to spend that money on as well.
How interesting. A 35% increase in what the owner's investing to get the result from the example. Are they paying credit card on the night? How are you doing that?
Maybe we just got a pay now, pay later option, which is through a third-party finance funder. There's plenty of them. The audience would be aware of them. There's half a dozen of them out there now. So this platform is integrated with their signing convention platform. So they just simply select pay now, pay later, sign on glass, they're done. That commences the application process and it's approved.
And this brings in that beautiful part of the whole stage marketing conversation that you don't even have to use your own credit card on money. It comes off on settlement at the end. In the last 12 months, Adam, we've had a massive increase of the consumer loving the I can do it now, comes off settlement. Yet the amount of agents that don't even have that conversation or provide that option is mind-blowing.
Yeah, and then in addition to that too, Lee, like you've got the appetite for clients to want to do that, but then you've got the absolute pain in the ass of reconciling all of that money and who gets paid what and where does that go. And that's an administrative nightmare for our admin team behind the scenes for a majority of real estate transactions. And what we've done with this software is we've centralized that as well. So additional support for complete visibility for all parties to see where funding's up to, and then they can see it being reconciled along the way. So then it reduces errors and dramatically improves the relationship with suppliers as well, because we're able to pay them immediately opposed to in 30 days' time or 60 days' time.
So, Adam, congratulations. This is a massive project that's definitely improved the life of the agent. Anything that gets us to a faster yes, a more confident campaign. And you're so right about the administration comment there. You know, everyone's had that final last change of the campaign with ordering an extra dust shot. And in the back end, they're going, what is this? The time that's been wasted in the platform, just take us into how that got managed or what you did in the specification to get that built.
Okay, we just kept that really simple. So all providers are able to upload their products. We have the ability to control and mandate those products as well as far as the standards that we want to see as an agency as well. And that's been a really important part of it too, being able to elevate our standards around how we want to represent property, because that consistency in market makes a big difference. The biggest areas we saw huge improvement there with videography and photography. We were just able to set the products, mate, and then whenever there's an update, you just simply go into the back end and update it. And that update might be a new product or it might be changing pricing. Simple as that.
And then everything's connected to the dwelling. That's the master account. The tool goes through. It's coming out on settlement and the job is done.
Yeah, and then you'd be surprised how many people also pay up front, and that's also been something that we've seen a significant change in because of the transparency of the information that's provided to them. It's tangible, it's real, they've seen it, so then they don't doubt it. They're like, okay, cool, I'll pay for that, no worries.
Now, Adam, this is a big project that you've undertaken. What got you inspired to do it?
Our customer experience there is rubbish. I was just, you look at the vendor engagement around this, is that most agents are presenting off a one-page piece of paper with 6 or 7 line items. There's no provision of information and people are in the dark. To be able to provide something where there's complete transparency, all of the information in one spot that looks good, presented a really good opportunity. What I also liked about it too, in the provision of that information, it elevated the agent education around these products too, because if you're going to provide this information to market, well, you better know it, because if you're asked questions, then you need to be in a good position to be able to answer them. That, through increasing the exposure in market, elevated our agents' understanding of product, and when they're more confident in knowledge, we all know with great knowledge that transfers confidence, and when you present with confidence, you win more business.
Couldn't agree more, and this sounds too good to be true for our listener of, wow, how would you do all that? But you've spent a lot of time yourself getting ready for this. And you and I spoke on air probably about 6-7 months ago, and you'd just gone through the listing leave behind of attract, engage, commit. Now, Adam, that triggered the whole country to start thinking about the leave behind. And we've seen some great examples and different versions of that as people present in different ways. The tools that you've got now for the agents have definitely increased the confidence, which has increased the results. Got to ask you, as a director of sales of so many salespeople, what are you passionate about next in the business, or what are you working on that will further bring this efficiency to the agents?
So, mate, we're working on a really, really cool tool at the moment to help agents with their prospecting and market and understanding who they should be speaking to and when. So simplifying that, Lee, to encourage agents to focus on core marketplace to grow their presence, because there's no secret to the success of the majority of highly successful real estate agents in the country dominate a marketplace. They're hyper-local to a community and they're well known. So helping our team with the visibility of that, we're building out a really cool product for that to be able to assist them that reduces a significant amount of time on the collation of data, but then also a significant amount of administration associated to the CRM as well. So really excited about that product. It's already, we've released it already and we've got some raving fans, but we're always iterating and improving. So that will continue, and also bringing some visual optics to that too, like with mapping. And that's one thing I've always loved about how Domain and REA and some of our other providers are able to map out areas, and you can clearly see where you are and where you're not. So helping an agent do that hyper-local to their market is imperative. So we've done that now, and there's some significant benefit in that. But what we've done is we've connected all the data points as well. So for our team now, they can click a button and it can compress an entire suburb instantly, and then they can have all of the contact details available in the public forum under their nose immediately, opposed to searching for them one after the other, or paying someone else to do it. So the profitability of that is significant, but on top of that as well, the efficiencies are outrageous.
So you've really digitised service area, bringing the dwellings database as the main contact record, but then grouping that together by coding your area so the agent knows where they are, where they're not, but who they need to contact, and then they just need to pick the right promotion to attract, engage and commit.
Yeah, mate, then they just got to do the work. And I think for a lot of agents, there's no reluctance to do the work. It's just, where do I spend the time? For us, it's about simplifying that for the guys, so then they can just get in and do the things that they enjoy doing. And we all know if you're doing something you enjoy doing, then you're going to get better outcomes out of it.
Absolutely amazing. Well, Adam, it's been a massive year for the group. Great results as always. And if success is about consistency, your story is being tracked. This is your third time on the program for different reasons. But final question for you. What were the big lessons of the last 12 months for you, being 2024 of time of recording? And we're coming towards the end of the year now, which no one can believe. But what was the big takeaway lessons for you for 2024?
Less is more. It was probably one of the biggest lessons for me, is as a growing group and wanting to, I guess, accommodate as many things as we possibly can and as many people as we possibly can, actually making a conscious decision to hyper-focus on what was most relevant and get it done. So ultimately, what you start, you have to finish, and just using the simple power of three, like pick off three, get them done, then move on to the next. But spending the time prioritising and making sure that whatever you choose to do within the business is in line with the core values and the goals.
And you had some amazing agents that were, quite new to the industry, get some very big results where they've come from a different background. But the use of the digital offer and the digital sale, take us into that for this year. What was big about that?
That's been really good for us, and particularly for, I'll say, for how it is, like the old school guys that were really reluctant to change. And it was the learning that their reluctance was actually through fear. It wasn't because they weren't willing to try something new. They were just fearful of how to use it and how to be able to present it confidently. So as soon as we spent the time educating and trialling and testing to then give them confidence to take that to market, they've had some exceptional results through that. And then it's really elevated their customer service experience in market, like the transparency that provides, and then how much easier it is to win business off the back of it because of the social proof associated to it. So that's been a really, really good thing for us. And that's been across the entire segment of our agents, whether it's been somebody with less than 6 months experience. Well, fortunately for them, they don't know any better. They're the best learners because they just want to get in and learn best practice and put it in play. Through to people that have been doing it for a couple of decades and were really reluctant, but then when they tried it, they're like, oh, shit, this isn't that bad. And then all of a sudden, they built confidence in that and continued it. So that's made a big change and improvement to our business, but it's also dramatically improved the customer sentiment as well, which is something that's mutually beneficial for everyone.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, Adam, you're one of our greatest sales directors in the country, and I can say that as I look at what you do in projects, be it listing, be it what we're seeing now with the VPA, and they are making significant difference. You're attracting some incredible professionals. I want to thank you for joining us on the program, and we wish you all the best for the next 12 months.
No worries, mate. And same for everybody else out there. Have a great back end of the year and bring on 2025.
We're looking forward to it.
Thanks, mate.